Alright guys, CombatEX on the FP VOD, and this game is a PvP on Shattered Temple, and I finally got fraps, so hopefully the quality is a bit better. I actually forgot to, now I'm having some audio difficulties. I'm trying to make the audio work, but I'm not really sure if it's not working in this video, I know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that that's a minor problem. I'm pretty sure I can get that fixed, and it's still lagging a bit, but now it's not the recording's problem, now it's my computer's problem. So that I can get fixed. So yeah, for the most part, all the problems are fixed. I'm just gonna, next video should be pretty good. Video was just to test if Fraps was actually working properly and whatnot. And this game, I'm just gonna be showing you guys a standard PvP build order, except I'm gonna be showing you guys how to play when you take your opponent's gas. It is actually a very good thing to do if you're able to do it. The way you prevent it is you pretty much have a probe hold positioned right next to your gas, and then it disables your opponent from taking your own gas. And I'm going to be telling you guys something I don't really do in PvP that much, which I really should be doing, is telling you guys what goes through my head. And I know I do that all my games, but there's some, like, PvP is really, the reason people don't like it is because you have to think a lot in PvP. PvP is not just a matchup, you're like, okay, you know, he has units, and he's building Zergling, so he's going to be attacking me soon. No, PvP, you have to look at so much more. You have to look at every single unit they're making, their chrono boost energy, whether they're making probes or not. It's so precise that it takes a lot of brain to be able to play PvP properly, and that's why lots of people don't like it. Not because it's, you know, 4-gate shenaniganry, all that stuff. Like, no, if you knew your opponent was 4-gating, it's easy to stop. It's just knowing whether your opponent's 4-gating is really hard because it takes a brain. And I know I'm making it sound like, you know, it's easy, but it's actually pretty hard. And I'll tell you guys what goes through my head. PvP is one of my better matchups, I'd say. I'd say it's probably in my top 3 matchups, and so, you know, it's pretty good. But, like, I'll tell you guys what goes through my head in PvP, because, if you guys didn't get that joke, you're fucking retarded. But, so yeah, right now, I see him, first thing I do is I check their Nexus energy, and I notice that, first thing I do is I take their gas if I notice they don't have gas, and then I mine a mineral field, and I also have a probe hold position at my own gas, so I know he can't take it then, and again, you only want to spend 2 chrono boosts on your own Nexus, and I notice his Nexus has the exact same amount of chrono boost energy as mine does, and so, now I know that he's probably going to be going, now I take his gas and I take my own afterwards. Another thing, when you take your own gas, you only want to put like 1 or 2 in it, not any more than that. You never want to put 3 right away, because then you won't have enough minerals to support it. And now, okay, now what's going through my head right now is, okay, I've taken his gas. He has his options are now limited. 1, he can either go for an expansion, which is pretty damn risky. They usually don't do that. 2, he can go for a 4-gate, which, you know, it's a little less common after the nerf, or I guess it's like a fix. I don't even want to call it a nerf. And 3, he can go for the really popular Warp Prism 4-gate build, which is actually really, really strong. I see him chrono boosting his cybernetics core, so I know that he's probably leaning towards a 4-gate, but I'm not really sure. The Warp Prism strategy is still very, very viable. And to counter the Warp Prism strategy, because that's the one I'm most feared of, because that's the one I lose to the most, you get 3 gateways and you pump out mass stalkers, and your opponent's going to be on 1 gas, so they have to pump out zealots out of their Warp Prism. And so that's the way you hold it off. And after 3-gate, then you get your wax facility in case they switch into DTs or something like that. And he's killing my gas. And so what does that tell me? That means that tells me that he probably needs his gas. And that tells me that he's probably going for some sort of Warp Prism play, or I guess he could be going for some sort of DT play, but then the DTs would be ridiculously late and I'd have my obs in time, so I'm not really worried about that. And now after the 2 stalkers, you want to get a sentry out to force out your ramp, and after that you want to keep pumping stalkers because the Warp Prism threat is very, very strong. And also, again, like I do in all my games, make sure you have a probe behind the mineral field to know when they expand. It's so important to know when your opponent's expanding. And now my warp gate's almost done, and I'm going to be pumping out stalkers after these 3 units, and again, right when I sent that probe from the watchtower to his base, I sent another probe to the watchtower, so, you know, vision is actually really, really important. And now I see he's coming to push me in. Very important. Where did those units go? I saw those units go to the side, so I know he's going to be going for some sort of pylon shenaniganry, which most likely is a Warp Prism shenaniganry, because he's not going to be able to see on the high ground. And notice how I made my sentry go to the ramp, because I know that the sentry is going to be pretty useless here. It's going to be much more useful in my ramp. And I also saw that little glimmer, which is pretty much a sign of some unit getting loaded inside a Warp Prism. So I know he has a Warp Prism now, and now I'm pretty much prepared to kill the Warp Prism wherever it is, and here it is. He's dropped it out of position, and I'm targeting the Warp Prism. Try to get as least hits, try to get the Zealots not being able to hit your Stalkers. That's really important. I know they're hitting my Stalkers a lot right now, but You always want to limit your opponent's stalker count. That's probably the most important thing. And again, now this comes down to micro. Again, lots of people don't realize, but early games, they lose because they have bad micro. And this game literally comes down to micro. So I have to micro perfectly to not lose. And again, I brought my sentry back because I know all his units over here. And now, yeah, so I killed a lot of his units, and he didn't really do damage with this. So I'm pretty confident in my ability to win this game. Now, I also noticed he lost a lot of minerals. And so what goes through my head right now is that he's probably going back to his base. He's like, alright, that attack failed. I have my second gas, time to tech up. And I know that he's going to be thinking that, so I'm going to take my expansion. And also I know that he hasn't seen my expansion, so I know he's going to be on one base, because no one just randomly takes their expansion. And I have a probe behind his mineral line to know he's not taking his expansion. And so I'm pretty safe to take my expansion, because I know he's not going to be pushing me for a little while until his next tech, whatever that may be, is out. And, that's why I'm safe to take my expansion, because I know he's not going to go for like a wave 2 of Warp Prism Harassment. That's just stupid, because I already have enough units to defend as it is. And also, he doesn't know that I have my expansion, and so I can fake that I'm on one base and going for some sort of Blink Stalker play by pushing up with these Stalkers and acting like I'm going to be really, really aggressive with these. And so he's probably like panicking and trying to get a bunch of units out, and like, yeah, okay, so he has like a fair bit of units here. So yeah, he's trying to get really a lot of units out because he still thinks I'm on one base when I'm actually in fact on 2 base. And so, yeah, this is like one of those small tricks that you can play. And in fact, he did go for the 4-gate Warp Prism shenanigans. Well, yeah, they're 4-gate Warp Prism shenanigans. That Stalker's meant to die. Just wanted to scout his base, I guess. And now I know, yeah, he's going to be on one base. I haven't seen any sort of tech, so I don't know. I guess he's going to be sticking with this 4-gate bullshit. I'm not really sure, but okay, yeah, so here's the Warp Prism, and now I have to run my units back, and this is smart on his part. Now he knows that I have an expansion, so now I know that he knows that I have expansion, and with that knowledge, I know that I'm going to have to stop cutting probes, because I know he's going to be either going for an all-in attack, or he's going to be expanding, but I'm going to know when he expands, because I have a probe behind his mineral field. So I know right now, my biggest threat is he's going for some sort of one-base all-in play, and so I just have to focus on defending. And I'm going to be cutting probes now because, like, obviously making probes is bad when your opponent's going for an all-in build. And so, again, yeah, all that's going through my head in PvP. And this is just, like, you know, it's very important to, like, the small things are very, very important in PvP. And he has Zealot Sentry, which is very, like, I don't know, it's a stupid composition in PvP. Like, what the hell? Mass Stalkers owns it so badly. And now just, you know, microing back and forth. If your opponent goes Zealot Sentry and you have Mass Stalkers, especially if you have Blink, micro the crap out of it. And now he sees he's taking his expansion. If you guys noticed, rewind this video a bit, right when I saw he took his expansion, I immediately started making probes, because I knew that I would be safe to make probes when he took his expansion. And now just starting to tech up, you know, getting their box facility. What the hell? Alright, I think my units just stopped in the middle of the map by accident, which is, like, really, really bad. I threw away pretty much any advantage I had with my early expand, because I lost, like, 500 minerals by throwing away those 5 or 4 stalkers. And now I'm on the defensive, which it should never be like this, because I just lost a crap ton of stalkers. The reason Zealot Sentry isn't good is because, like, you should be able to out-micro with your opponent, but I failed at microing that in that instance. And now, again, trying to run away from the Zealots, trying to not let the Zealots get any hits off, and trying to make my stalkers get hits off on his stalkers, and yeah, just microing to the best of my ability. And now he's going to be coming up my ramp, and just, you know, this is bad on my part. Like, this game shouldn't be going like this, and this is really bad. Alright, now I'm on the back foot now, because he just killed a lot of probes, and that's, again, my fault, because I didn't react in time to see the attack commencing. And I think, yeah, I was attacked on the new map. I wanted to see what that was, and now, yeah, that was really, really bad on my part. I lost a lot of probes there, which was, like, I shouldn't have lost them. And now, if anything, I have the disadvantage. Because, well, let's be honest here, he just killed a lot of probes. And now, what's going through my head right now is that, alright, I have one of two options. Either I can go for an all-in build, or I can try to catch up economically, which I'm not that far behind, because keep in mind his expansion was really late. And so now what I want to see is his unit composition. So I'm going to send this Obs to his base, and I'm going to see what type of units he has. And again, just pressuring with Stalkers, you should always be pressuring with. Unless your opponent has Blink Stalkers, then that's the only time you should stop pressuring with Stalkers. And now I'm looking at his unit composition, Zealot Stalker, so, you know, sentries are really good when your opponent's going just Zealot Stalker. Sentry Colossus, Zealot Stalker is better than just Zealot Stalker. And I know it sounds obvious, but, like, it's not. And now, okay, another really big thing. Notice that his Nexus is not glowing. So I know he's not making probes. Knowing that he's not making probes, I know he's going for some sort of all-in pressure to just kill me, because he knows I'm going to be catching up economically. And so I know that he's not making probes, and so I know that I have to stop making probes and go for some sort of counter, like, I guess some sort of defensive play, because I know that if I keep making probes, I'm going to die. And so, again, that's a really, really important read. This is why people hate PvP, because not many players would read that their opponent's not making probes. It's so important to see if the Nexus is building or not. And I noticed his Nexus was not building, and he wasn't fully saturated. So I know that I have to just defend this next attack that's going to be coming very shortly, because if I do, then he's going to be in an economically disadvantaged position, disadvantageous position. And so now, yeah, there comes the attack, and again, I would not have enough units out in time if I didn't stop cutting probes. And again, sentries are very, very important, and just because they can force field off, only against Zealot Stalker. They're not good against anything else. Don't get mass sentry in PvP, it's a bad idea. Now I'm getting those 2 pylons up here. What are these 2 pylons for? They're essentially to take damage for when the attack actually happens. Like, I'm sure when he attacks me, he's gonna, like, those 2 pylons are gonna bait out a lot of damage. They're not just gonna be like, they're probably not gonna die. They're just gonna bait out a lot of damage, which again is also really, really useful. It's really important to make your opponent bait out some damage. And again, I'm thinking of like whether I should get more sentries or not. I'm really hesitant on it because I'm not really sure whether, like, like, what if he went back to his base in Macroad, right? Like, I'm not really sure right now, so I'm trying to send another scout out to see what he's doing. And I had a sentry here literally doing nothing, so now I'm going to make it come back. And yeah, he's still going for that Zealot Stalker. So I have a really big economically, I think I have an economically superior position. And now this War Prism is so annoying. I might even start going War Prisms after seeing this, because holy crap, that is that annoying. And now, yeah, he's going... he's being smart by multi-harassing me, trying to draw my units back and then attacking from the front, but he attacked a little preemptively. And now I'm keeping my sentries at the front because I know that if he tries to come for the front, I can just force shield him. And I'm taking my whole army to kill the War Prisms and all the units being departed from the War Prisms. And now I think I have a pretty big army, and I think I'm ready for like, I don't want to be on the back foot this whole time. Like, I'm just defending. And PvP is probably the only match where you don't just want to defend, because your opponent can just take more bases than you and kill you. Or out macro you, I guess. And so you can't just defend in PvP. You need to like attack or know what they're doing at all times, because if you don't, like, it's a very, very fragile matchup. Like, it's very fragile. It's unreal. And now again, I think, yeah, he has blink, definitely. Okay, yeah, there's the blink. And so now I gotta go back and defend. And now these 3 classes over here, that's a really bad idea. I think my units will reunite before. Oh, guess not. Alright, so I think I just lost this game because these 3 Colossus they just died essentially, and they didn't kill anything. And so now, alright, so this is what it comes down to. Now I know I'm all in, because I just lost 3 Colossus. That was the only advantage I have over him. He had Blink Stalkers, I have normal Stalkers, and, like, he has more army than me, more Gateway army than me, because I invested in Stalker Colossus. And my Colossus just died. So I'm going for an all-in build now. I'm pretty much all in. I was thinking of remaking probes and getting back economically, but no. Like, I lost 3 Colossus. There's no way you can come back from losing 3 Colossus. And so now I have to go for an all-in. And so when I'm going for an all-in, I really mean go for an all-in. Stop making probes. Constantly just make units. Chrono boost your units. Send probes out. And all you're going to do is just try to overrun your opponent. And that's all I'm going to be doing now, because I know that I can't possibly catch up economically. And now, just force fielding his units out, and that blink was a really stupid idea on his part. I don't see why he just didn't retreat and wait for the Zealots to engage with the Stalkers. And that might have just cost him the game, because he just lost like a crap ton of Stalkers. And yeah, okay, so that's game. He should have won this game, to be honest, if he just engaged that properly. And he did lose a lot of units, I guess, when he was trying to harass me, and I didn't really lose many units. So I guess that, yeah, he didn't really have that much, I guess, to defend this, but... he played this role really well. I'd say he played this out better than I did, but, I guess just since I had a bigger army and he didn't really do anything about it, I won. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed me constantly posting videos, because I'm trying to get more active into that. And, that's pretty much it. Like always, peace out, guys.